The man who discovered Whitney Houston is gone. Clive Davis dies at 94. One man helped shape the soundtrack of the last 6 decades. Without him, the world may never have known Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, Barry Manilow, Jennifer Hudson, or dozens of other legendary artists. Today, the music industry says goodbye to one of its greatest visionaries. Clive Davis has died at the age of 94. He wasn't a singer. He wasn't a songwriter. He wasn't a musician. Yet few people in history changed popular music more than he did. This is the remarkable story of the man who discovered legends and transformed the music industry forever. The unexpected beginning. Ironically, Clive Davis never planned to work in music. Born in Brooklyn, New York, in 1932, Davis excelled academically. After graduating from Harvard Law School, he became an attorney. His career path seemed destined for corporate law, not entertainment. But fate had other plans. In the mid-1960s, he joined Columbia Records in its legal department. His intelligence, leadership, and ability to recognize talent quickly caught executives' attention. Then came the opportunity that changed everything. At just 35 years old, Clive Davis became president of Columbia Records. It was one of the most unexpected promotions in music history, and it would reshape the entire recording industry. The talent scout, unlike any other. Most executives looked at sales charts. Clive Davis listened to voices. He believed great artists could change culture, not just sell records. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, he signed and developed an astonishing list of performers. Among them, Janis Joplin, Bruce Springsteen, Earth, Wind and Fire, Santana, Barry Manilow, Billy Joel. He wasn't simply signing contracts. He guided careers. He selected singles. He shaped albums. He advised artists on image, production, and long-term success. Many performers described him as the executive who truly believed in them before anyone else did. Whitney Houston changed everything. Then came perhaps the greatest discovery of his career. In the early 1980s, Davis attended a nightclub performance. A young woman stepped onto the stage. Her name was Whitney Houston. Within moments, Davis reportedly knew he was witnessing a once-in-a-generation voice. He immediately pursued her. The result became one of the most successful artist partnerships in music history. Whitney Houston's debut album exploded worldwide. It sold millions. She became one of the biggest stars on earth. Hits like Saving All My Love for You, Greatest Love of All, How Will I Know I Wanna Dance with Somebody became timeless classics. Across her career, Whitney Houston sold more than 200 million records worldwide, and Clive Davis remained one of her closest professional mentors for decades. Many fans believe the modern pop diva era began with that partnership. Building music empires. Clive Davis didn't stop there. After leaving Columbia, he founded Arista Records. Later, he helped launch J Records. Again and again, he discovered future superstars. Artists including Alicia Keys, Jennifer Hudson, Kelly Clarkson, Rod Stewart, Aretha Franklin, Patti Smith benefited from his leadership. Even after turning 80, then 90, he continued attending showcases, mentoring artists, and identifying new talent. Very few executives remain relevant across 6 decades. Clive Davis did. Awards and industry respect. His influence earned countless honors. He won multiple Grammy Awards. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a non-performer. His annual Grammy Eve Gala became one of the music industry's most prestigious events. Every year, the biggest stars gathered under one roof, not simply because of the awards, but because they respected the man who helped build modern music. To younger executives, he became the blueprint. To artists, he became a trusted mentor. Tributes pour in. Following news of his passing, tributes began flooding social media. Artists, executives, producers, fans around the world shared memories of the man who believed in talent before the world recognized it. Many described him as a visionary, a genius, the greatest record executive in history. His influence reached far beyond the artists he signed. He helped define entire musical generations, a legacy that will never fade. The music business constantly changes. Vinyl became cassette. Cassette became CD. CD became streaming. But through every era, Clive Davis remained relevant. Because technology changes. Great talent doesn't. His greatest gift wasn't producing music. It was recognizing greatness before anyone else could see it. Millions of people have danced, cried, fallen in love, or found comfort through songs connected to his vision. That is a legacy very few people ever achieve. Clive Davis may be gone, but every time Whitney Houston's voice echoes through speakers, every time Alicia Keys performs, every time a legendary recording inspires another generation, a part of Clive Davis lives on. Rest in peace, Clive Davis. One of the greatest music visionaries the world has ever known. The man who discovered Whitney Houston is gone. Clive Davis dies at 94. The executive who never played an instrument. Insert after introduction. One of the most extraordinary things about Clive Davis is that he wasn't a musician. He couldn't be described as a legendary guitarist, pianist, or singer. He wasn't writing chart-topping songs. Instead, he possessed something even rarer. He had an almost supernatural ability to recognize greatness before anyone else. Throughout his career, artists often joked that Clive Davis could hear future hit long before audiences could. While record executives usually focused on market trends and sales numbers, Davis focused on emotion. He listened to voices. He studied personalities. He looked for artists who could build careers lasting decades, not just produce one hit single. That philosophy made him arguably the greatest talent scout in modern music history. A career built on reinvention. Many executives become successful during one musical era. Very few survive changing trends. Clive Davis dominated nearly every era. He helped guide music through the age of vinyl, the cassette revolution, compact discs, digital downloads, and finally, the streaming era. Most executives fade as technology changes. Clive Davis adapted every single time. That ability kept him relevant for over 60 years. Few people in entertainment history have maintained influence for that long. The artists you never realized he helped discover. Whitney Houston may have been his greatest success story, but she was far from the only one. Throughout his remarkable career, Clive Davis either signed, mentored, revived, or helped develop an incredible list of artists, including Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, Barry Manilow, Janis Joplin, Bruce Springsteen, Santana, Earth, Wind and Fire, Billy Joel, Dionne Warwick, Patti Smith, Aretha Franklin, Jennifer Hudson, Kelly Clarkson, Rod Stewart, Luther Vandross, Sean Diddy Combs. Early career support. Carlos Santana's legendary comeback. In fact, several of these artists have sold over 100 million records worldwide. Combined, Clive Davis's artists account for hundreds of millions of albums sold. Very few executives in history can claim that level of impact. The incredible Santana comeback. One of Clive Davis's greatest achievements happened when many believed a music legend was already finished. By the late 1990s, Santana had largely disappeared from mainstream charts. Many record companies considered his biggest years to be behind him, but Clive Davis disagreed. He convinced Santana to collaborate with younger artists. The result was the album Supernatural. It became one of the biggest albums ever released. The album sold more than 30 million copies worldwide. Songs like Smooth dominated radio stations across the globe. The album won an incredible 8 Grammy Awards in one night. It remains one of the greatest comeback stories in music history. And Clive Davis was the mastermind behind it. The Grammy party everyone wanted an invitation to. Every year before the Grammy Awards, one event became almost more famous than the ceremony itself. The annual Clive Davis Pre-Grammy Gala. For decades, it became the industry's most exclusive gathering. Only the biggest names in entertainment received invitations. You could find pop stars, rock legends, Hollywood actors, music executives, and Grammy winners all under one roof. For many young artists, receiving an invitation meant they had officially made it. The event became a symbol of Clive Davis's enormous influence. His eye for talent was legendary. Many executives need months of research before signing an artist. Clive Davis often knew within minutes. People who worked with him described how he could instantly recognize whether a performer possessed something unique. It wasn't just about vocal ability. He looked for authenticity, stage presence, emotional connection, the ability to tell stories through music. That instinct repeatedly proved correct. Again and again, artists rejected by other labels became global superstars after Clive Davis believed in them. Awards that few executives ever achieved. During his extraordinary career, Clive Davis received almost every honor the music industry could offer. Among his achievements were induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, multiple Grammy Awards, including prestigious industry honors, recognition as one of the most influential executives in entertainment history, numerous Lifetime Achievement Awards from music organizations. Business magazines consistently ranked him among America's most powerful entertainment executives. His influence extended far beyond record sales. He helped define popular culture itself. A mentor, not just a boss. Many artists have spoken about Clive Davis as more than an executive. He became a mentor. He attended recording sessions, reviewed songs personally, helped choose album track lists, suggested collaborations, even advised artists on navigating fame. Whitney Houston often credited him with believing in her before the rest of the industry understood her potential. Alicia Keys has also spoken publicly about the confidence he placed in her at the beginning of her career. That personal investment made him different from most executives. The business decisions that changed music. Clive Davis wasn't only discovering artists. He changed how record companies operated. He embraced crossover music before it became common. He encouraged collaborations between pop, rock, R&B, Latin music, and soul. Many of today's cross-genre collaborations trace their roots back to strategies Davis championed decades ago. He understood that great music had no boundaries. The last great music mogul. Many industry experts describe Clive Davis as one of the last true music moguls. Today's music business is driven heavily by algorithms, streaming platforms, social media trends, artificial intelligence. But Clive Davis came from an era when success depended on human instinct. He trusted his ears, his emotions, his experience, and, remarkably, that instinct continued working well into his 90s. Tributes from around the world. News of Clive Davis's passing has prompted tributes from across the entertainment industry. Artists, producers, executives, and fans have celebrated not only his remarkable career, but also his generosity as a mentor. Many have described him as a visionary who changed countless lives by believing in talent before the rest of the world recognized it. Across social media, fans have shared performances by Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, Santana, Barry Manilow, and many others as a reminder of the extraordinary legacy Davis leaves behind. The legacy he leaves behind. Expanded ending. When people think of music legends, they usually think about singers, guitarists, songwriters. But Clive Davis proved someone behind the scenes could influence music just as profoundly. His fingerprints are on thousands of songs, hundreds of albums, dozens of Hall of Fame careers, millions of unforgettable memories created through music. Future generations may never know his face, but they will certainly know the voices he introduced to the world. Every time Whitney Houston sings, every time Alicia Keys performs, every time Santana's guitar echoes through a stadium, the legacy of Clive Davis lives on. Few people ever change an industry. Clive Davis changed music itself. Rest in peace to one of the greatest record executives, talent scouts, and visionaries in entertainment history.